Well, we're back playing some more Sonic, or sorry, Tails Adventure.
Yeah, don't you ever disrespect this sweet little boy.
We're back in this. Looks like we're near the end of Tails Adventure. Before we move on to the next adventure in this game, I don't even know who's next. It's Knuckles, right?
Knuckles, Amy, Big the cat, whoever
the
you
robot,
want.
and the robot.
And the robot.
I refuse to play as Big the cat.
We may come back to it eventually.
I'm gonna be a diva, and I'm just gonna say no.
Don't worry. I did some research and off screen. I did some grinding. I now know how we're supposed to play that game.
Okay, all right. So maybe we'll go back to it. But for now, that's gonna be the last one that we do.
Yeah. Well, for now we're done. I think we're done with Sonic. After we beat Tails, I think we'll be done for a while.
We'll take another break like we did for Halloween, and then
we'll come back.
We'll
to
see if we do it, because the other ones are proper shit, dude. Like they're not good. Like as much as I love these games and I have a nostalgic like memory of them, these are not good games. I'm sorry to all you Sonic fans out there. These are not good games.
They're entertaining in such a weird way.
And just how jank they are, like the facial animations. If we ever play the second one, the voice acting is my favorite fucking thing about that game. Because the characters, they talk over one another. Like, they don't let each other finish their sentences. Like, just say, like, I want you to be Tails. You'd be like, Sonic, we gotta get out of here.
Sonic, we gotta
Tails, I'm with you.
But Sonic, we
that's how they talk. That's how dialogue is conveyed in that fucking game.
Oh, where am I going?
Man. But Sonic Adventure 2 is... Oh, you just went through the world.
I entirely just flipped through that.
Just flipped through the map. But Sonic Adventure 2 is a gem. Both of these games are gems. I just don't think they're very good games.
You made it.
They're bad but fun.
Exactly.
Games can be like that.
Like Big Rigs.
Yeah, Big Rigs, over the road racing.
Which I learned recently that there's speed runs of it.
How do you speed? What's the criteria?
So you move mostly in reverse. Remember that part where we were driving in reverse and we saw like the fifth dimension?
Yeah, where we saw God.
Yeah. People just do those courses in reverse and they just get like crazy times. Like they beat it in like 8 minutes.
So like you just gotta beat every track, or?
Yeah, you just beat every track.
Okay.
And then you win the game. It's like, have you ever heard of this game called, okay, do you know who Penn and Teller are?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I'm assuming you would. But for those of you who don't, all you younger people maybe, they're two magicians. They're like the most famous, successful magicians like ever. And they made a video game. I don't know if you know this, Robert. Well, they've made a couple. But their first venture into making a video game was a game called Desert Bus.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. And it's a game where you have to drive to Las Vegas to go to a Penn and Teller show. I think you start off in California.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, okay. It's just like a real-time simulation of you going to Las Vegas. Like it's a full fucking like 8 or 9 hour drive. But you're sitting there just staring at desert road. You never actually arrive there. I don't know if you've seen the ending of that game.
I have not.
There's no like end point where you get to Nevada and like the casino. There's nothing. You just score 1 point once you've driven for like 9 or 10 miles.
What?
Yeah, you get a single point. But anyway, I wanted to say that there's actually a charity event for that game where gamers from all across the world, they will make that trip. It's like a 24-hour live stream. They will try to get there as many times, like or like twice or whatever, for charity. They make the desert bus drive for charity.
What a sweet event.
I'm like, that's pretty funny how Penn and Teller just released this as like a complete joke.
Yeah.
People are like, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna turn this into a good cause.
We're gonna make this fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Shoutouts to AVGN for introducing me to the culture.
AVGN introduced me to like almost everything that I love now.
Honestly, yeah. He was ahead of his time.
I was such a fucking dweeb in high school because of him. Like I knew of all the old school consoles and like the history of Nintendo and Sega without ever having played them. I knew all that stuff.
Thinking back to it now, I was like, how did I learn all this shit? I don't actually know. I just kind of knew. I was a true gamer. I was born with this knowledge.
You were born with the extensive knowledge of games. Let's go, dude. Yeah, because at the time when I was a kid, when I was a wee baby, my shit was like Pokemon and Bionicles. Those were my two passions in life.
For me, yeah, I guess my earliest passion was indeed video games.
Yeah. I can also trace back like all my interests to my older brother too, because when we were growing up, he was into Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and not Bionicles. That one was on my own, but like he was into all those fucking games. He showed me Minecraft and like all this stuff, man. So he's the reason why I'm such a fucking nerd. He moved on with life, but I didn't. I was a really loud helicopter.
Purgatory.
Yeah. There's a very loud helicopter flying over me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Can you hear it?
I cannot.
Oh, maybe it'll show up in the audio recording.
You know, speaking of, oh, you go ahead first, actually.
I was just going to say, yeah, since then I've just lived my life hating women and minorities.
Okay, I have several points to make. Loud helicopters. So over the last, like, month, several times at, like, 1 in the morning, there's been a helicopter flying over my apartments. The first time, they were just looking for, like, a elderly person that has, like, dementia that got out.
Oh, shit.
So they're just like, hey, everybody, if you happen to be on the streets right now, help us out. Which I thought to myself, who the fuck is going to be out right now?
I know.
Who are you talking to?
In the middle of a pandemic at 1 a.m.
And then a couple weeks after that, there was a second flyby where they made an announcement again through the helicopter. It's like, hey, everybody, there's a guy with a gun. Stay inside your houses.
Yep, I remember those.
We're going to release the dog, so don't come out. Also, by the way, criminal, if you can hear this, we're going to send the dog, so turn yourself in.
Fucking ghetto birds is what my brother calls them. The helicopters.
Ghetto birds.
Ghetto birds. I remember when I first brought my partner over to my house, because, you know, they live in a pretty, like, middle-class suburb. You know, like, houses, everyone's real friendly to each other. It's very quiet here. This is where I live now. But when I lived back in Orange County, I lived in a not-so-safe part. And when they would come over, they would be fascinated by the helicopters. Like, what is that? What are they doing here? I'm like, they're probably looking for someone. Like, you mean like a criminal? I'm like, yeah.
Oh, and you poor, sweet, innocent child.
Yeah, I know. And then you sound like you're going to say bitch.
I would never insult your partner like that. Not yet.
Anyways, I do it all the time. Yeah, so I would be like, we would hear those announcements like, citizens of this place, remember to lock your doors. There is an armed man here. He's very dangerous. So I'd get up and go lock the doors, and my partner would be like, why are you doing that? Like, do you actually have to lock your doors and windows? I'm like, yeah. We don't want someone breaking in, maybe.
We're not going to risk it.
They were just so innocent. Like, I want to sit on the porch and, like, watch the helicopter. I'm like, no, you could watch from the window.
Yeah, there's much safer places to be looking right now.
Yeah, and they would often wonder, like, if it was a firework or a gunshot.
Oh, my favorite game.
Firework or gunshot. I think the general rule is if it echoes, it's a gunshot. But if it doesn't, it's a firework.
I've heard different things, like contrasting things, like a gunshot is more like a pop, whereas a firework is more like a bang.
Yeah,
it's I don't know. I'm really bad at the game, by the way, but what's more important is that I have to play it.
Exactly, every single day. I remember. So I remember when I was a kid. I was in elementary school. And there was one of those live chases. And this was around like 2. So we were out of school like at 2:15. And this was around 2 p.m. Everything got locked down at our school because the criminal was inside our school.
Oh, fuck.
He was running away from the police and he was in our school. So we had to like turn off the lights, hide under the desk, like not a drill.
This is not a drill.
I remember being so scared because we would see shadows pass by the windows because we'd close the curtains. It was like 2 or 3 armed criminals in our school. And the police were trying to find these people.
That's fucking crazy.
And we were delayed by like 2 hours.
since I've started hanging with Sonic.
Holy fuck.
And I was just like I told that story to my partner, and they're like, yeah, no, that's not normal.
That's not okay.
That's not a normal thing that a kid goes through. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess it isn't.
I also had a very similar story, but it was in high school actually, where the dude wasn't on campus, but there was a chase going around campus.
Oh yeah.
So they made us lock down during 6th period.
Oh yeah.
And another time there was a dog, or just a rabid dog, patrolling
I
the
remember
school.
I remember that. They had to call animal control, and they kept everyone in the school because they didn't want like rabies or whatever.
Yeah, that was so weird.
Oh man.
We live in a good neighborhood.
Yeah, there was another time where a shootout was gonna happen. Well, it was like what are those called? Like a standoff
Yeah.
between like a person in a house and the police. And this was when I had just gotten off of high school, and I was heading to my apartment complex. And what I saw was like several people like in like heavy like SWAT gear, like armor and like machine guns, standing right outside our gate. And a big buff cop came up to us, and he's like, "You guys live here?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "All right, I'll walk you to your house. It's not safe for you out here."
Jesus.
We had like a fucking armed escort, dude. He had like a machine gun in his hands, and he goes like,
Shit.
he's like, "You kids stay inside, all right, till we're gone. It's not safe out here. I'm serious." And I was just like, "All right."
This is how it ends for you, huh?
Yeah, and then I don't really think anything went down. There was like a couple shots fired. I do remember hearing the shots get fired. I was like playing League, and they're like, bah, 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 bah. And I was like, all right, turning up my music.
Let's ignore that.
I don't want to be reminded of the neighborhood I live in. And nothing happened. Well, something did happen. A dog was shot, a police dog.
Aw.
They were shot. They lived and they retired. They got adopted by some family. But that was like the worst that came of it. The guy was arrested. Like it was like a pretty safe thing for like considering it was a shootout.
Yeah.
Like a pretty safe thing. But so anyways, we're playing Sonic. What
other horrible traumas have we suffered?
What are you doing in this game? I know, it's like that's how it always goes. Like, yeah, man, I knew a friend. I knew several friends that died, and they couldn't escape the gang and drug life. But Tails is gonna finish this level, you know?
Yeah. We'll get there. Oh no!
Oh, never mind. You
Not
got it
covered.
All right, I have one last story before we end the episode.
Oh my god.
I have several stories about my growing up, but this is the last one before we end the episode because
Okay.
I've talked everyone's ears off. So I vividly remember the last time I stopped hanging out with a friend, because from middle school, the summer between middle school and high school, they completely changed the person. Like they were in a gang, they were slinging drugs, like everything bad that could happen happened to this person. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess they're still the same person. They just do a lot more bad stuff. So whatever.
Yeah.
So I was at a Subway with them, and we were just chilling eating, and this guy, we were just talking like, oh, you know, fucking remember when we used to play Yu-Gi-Oh? He saw two people outside of the window, and I swear to God, Robert, he pulled down his socks and he started reaching for his gun.
Oh,
And he's like, no, I'd like go to the bathroom or something, like, you know, like get out of here. And I was just like, I am not hanging out with you anymore.
Oh my god.
Like, I am not associated. I was like, dude, imagine the contrast. Like, I was in like my fucking khaki shorts with an afro and my Minecraft shirt, hanging out with some fucking hardcore like skinhead gangster.
Holy fuck, dude.
Yeah, this person really turned their life around like a couple years ago, so I can, you know, I feel a lot more comfortable telling the story knowing it has a much happier ending. They're like hardcore into boxing, like they want to be a pro boxer. They go to church and like rehab and shit. They've turned their life around completely, so I could tell the story.
Okay.
It has a happy ending. But yeah, well, I guess we can't really end the episode now because you're in the middle of the boss
I'm kind
fight.
of stuck here, and I'm getting my ass
Alright.
handed to me. Fuck me.
What other sad stories do I?
How else can we? You said you had several. Go ahead. Tell them right now.
How else can we bum out the viewers? Oh man. No, I have a pretty positive one. I remember when I was a wee boy. I think you're supposed to like climb onto the legs or something and hit Eggman.
I'm experimenting right now. Give me a moment.
Whatever, you do your thing, man.
Yeah, I'll get there.
When I was younger, and I was hanging out with my mom, she was walking me to school. This was when I was like in first grade. We came across this homeless guy. I think I was nervous to go to school. I was like crying because I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
And this homeless guy came up to us, and he had like a shopping cart full of shit. And he was just like, he's like, oh, you don't have to be sad. Like, you have your whole life ahead of you, young man. Like, you have such a good mother. And he was just like a really like nice dude. And he handed me this tiger plushie. It was fucking filthy. Like, it was like black and just disgusting. But I loved it. My mom was probably like, I'm tossing that shit as soon as we get home.
Yeah.
Like, this is disgusting. But I just loved it. I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, I was so stoked. My mom was like, well, shit, now I can't hide it. So when she went home, she washed it and cleaned it up and everything. Like, she made it like perfect, like almost brand new. I still have it to this day.
Oh, really?
This tiger plushie. Yeah, I take it everywhere.
That's cute.
Yeah, I don't really have like sentimentality towards objects, but for some reason that one I do.
Okay, I figured it out, by the way.
Oh, you're supposed to hit. Okay.
The one that stomps, you gotta hit it.
Yeah. Get a load of this.
Oh shit. Oh fuck. Sorry, I'm in a full gamer mode right now.
You think Eggman was friends with Jeffrey Epstein?
Oh, absolutely. Without
Who
a
do you
doubt.
think killed him?
Who do you think hacked the cameras?
I just want to do another Photoshop of a Sonic character hanging out with Epstein. Just do a callback. That's all I want to do. Oh man.
So last night I got to experience firsthand the wrath of gamers.
Okay.
I watched a Donkey's video or a Fallout video on The Last of Us 2.
Oh my God, I watched that too.
And his ending bit where they compared like Days Gone to The Last of Us reviews, I was like, oh my fucking God, it's never been more obvious.
Yeah, dude. Like, I reviewed The Last of Us 2, and I have my own personal like gripes with it. Like, I don't think it's that good of a game. I just think it's a pretty like step down from what Naughty Dog usually does.
Yeah.
But oh my God, dude, the vitriolic, like the hateful fucking comments and like people saying like it ruined their lives. I'm like, y'all need to get the fuck over it. It's just a video game.
And it's also very specifically just, oh, there's gay people. Like, it's so specifically just because there's women and gay people.
And there's people saying like, oh, the villain Abby is ripped. She must be trans. It's like, no, like I don't think in the game that's really implied at all that Abby is trans. She's just a ripped woman.
I mean, in a fucking apocalypse, I'd imagine you'd have to be.
Yeah, and like, of course, everyone's like, it's not even realistic. Like, how do you maintain that muscle mass in an apocalypse? I'm like, really? That's what you're nitpicking? Like, not the fact that a fungus fucking mutated and is taking over humans? Like, that you're willing to buy.
Yeah, where's your suspension of disbelief?
I mean, it's just, they're just saying like, I'm secretly afraid of buff women.
Yeah, misogyny is very deep rooted.
Dude, I'll say it. Me and my partner both agree. Abby's fucking hot, dude.
Oh, she's not my type.
I'd let her demolish me with those arms.
I'd let her carry me.
Exactly, yeah. I don't know, dude. I really don't understand the hate towards that game. Like, I understand like the constructive, like this wasn't a very good game. Totally get that. Because I feel the same way. But like people who just hate it because it was different, like that's what I don't get.
It's just gamers, man.
It is. It really is. I saw a post today on fucking Reddit on r/gaming that was like, the level of detail in Assassin's Creed Black Flag versus Watch Dogs Legion, and it was like the character like wading through water in Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And then it showed the Watch Dogs, and it was a character just continuing his running cycle through the water. People were like, wow, these developers are so fucking lazy. And in my head, I was like, I wonder what animation would take priority. A game about fucking pirates where you're in the water for 90% of it, or a game where you're in the city for like 99% of it.
It's like, yeah. Under what circumstance? Yeah, fucking people.
And then it's like, and then these people complain when games are delayed. It's like, what do you want?
They want it now, and they want it to be exactly what they're thinking about.
Oh my god, I fucking hate gamers. If you're a gamer, fuck you. End of video. Okay, another example. The video's not over. I haven't ended the fucking video. Another example is with Cyberpunk. As you know, that game has been delayed like 6 times now.
Yes.
And
I mean, over the last like 14 years, by the way.
Exactly, yeah. Like, I'm really looking forward to that game, and it's upsetting. They're like, fuck, this sucks. They keep delaying it, but that's all it is. I'm like, oh, that sucks, and then I move on with my life. But these people are like, this is fucking bullshit. Like, CD Projekt Red needs to be working overtime. Like, I work 6 days a week and I never complain. I'm like, dude, you're a fucking loser. Like, you're a slave to your job and you're just proud of it. Like,
yeah.
Like, CD Projekt Red, for as shitty as they are sometimes, they're actively trying to avoid crunch as much as possible. And, you could easily play like, oh, well, they shouldn't do it anyways. Like, yeah, they shouldn't, but it sucks that they have to sometimes. But when they're trying to avoid it, it should be applauded, not sent death threats.
Yeah.
Because
go ahead.
Because you can't handle not having your fucking cybernetic sex simulator for another couple months.
Yeah, so there's this series I watched on YouTube called What Happened.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar.
So yeah, he just covers the development stories of games, and just the video game industry is fucked to be a developer or work on any project. If it comes down to a time, like they work abysmal hours. Mm-hmm. It's the constant crunch and stress. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh my god, video game development is just such a shitty thing.
It's fucking brutal, dude. Like, those amazing animations that you see in Red Dead 2 or The Last of Us 2, they came at a fucking price. Like, someone missed their kid's birthday to animate that. Like, it's just insane. Like, and that's why I'm so fucking respectful to game developers, not like companies, like the people making the games.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I don't send them death threats because I'm not a fucking unhinged crazy person.
It's also like where you put the blame. Like, oh, the game didn't turn out the way I liked it. Fuck the developers. It's like, honestly, this fucking CEOs have a massive decision.
It's the studio. Like, Anthem, do you remember that game, Anthem?
Yeah.
That was just incompetence on like several levels. If you want to find out more, I have a video on my personal YouTube channel about the development of Anthem.
Now the video's over.
Now the video's over. All right, fuck Sonic.
Let's get out of here.